Hello and a very warm welcome to Science This Week, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation in and around the country. From plant-based anti-cancer compound getting approval for clinical trials, to the safety tips one should follow during an earthquake. We have plenty in store for you. So let's begin with the headlines. Launch of STIP 2020 Track 1, a consultative process to formulate new national science, technology and innovation policy. Clinical trial of natural anti-cancer compound gets approval. Potential drug candidate identified and developed by CSIR's Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, Jammu. Nature Index 2020 places 3 DST institutes in top 30 institutions in the country. India grabs 12th position in the overall rankings. IIT Delhi to focus more on building self-reliant India. The institute will promote industry-based research and startups. And now, the news in detail. The Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor and the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, have initiated a consultation process to formulate a new national science, technology and innovation policy. In this regard, STIP 2020 Track 1 was launched on the 12th of June during a webinar. About 15,000 stakeholders are being added in this process, which is organized into 4 highly interlinked tracks. Here is a report to know more.
COVID-19 crisis has shown once again that it is important not only to invest in science, but also to make its knowledge accessible to everyone. Keeping this in mind, the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India and the Department of Science and Technology have planned to consult stakeholders and experts for the formulation of upcoming science, technology and innovation policy. To accomplish this, Track 1 of STIP 2020 Town Hall Meet was launched last week. In addition to Principal Scientific Advisor Professor K. Vijayaraghavan and Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, many other experts and stakeholders participated in the event, organized as a webinar.
Today we have reached or are at the beginning of a new world order. We can no longer have isolated structures growing at the expense of other structures. In other words, there is no free lunch. How does therefore one have sustainable development when you're not allowed to exploit the environment, when we shouldn't be exploiting other people, and we need to have balance of trade and equitable development? That's an enormous challenge. COVID-19 has shown us how the global supply chains can be very rapidly affected if we don't take these factors into account. So these are very important challenges. And therefore, our science, technology, and innovation policy needs to look forward in this post-COVID world in truly innovative ways.
The purpose of the Track 1 is to involve an extensive public and expert consultations through Science Policy Forum to make the formulation of STIP 2020 decentralized, bottom-up and inclusive. Science Policy Forum is a dedicated platform for soliciting inputs from larger public and expert pool. The comprehensive consultation will help in sustainability, environment, biodiversity, and information technology related missions.
We need in the policy a seamless connection to all the stakeholders, to all the sectors. But we also need that seamless connection in the entire knowledge chain, which means from R&D, basic science, applied science, technology translation, human resources, startups, making products and technologies, and in fact, the industry and the market. The widest possible participation, and this is just the kickstart for that. And I'm sure that every single stakeholder will have a say in this process. we must balance invention with innovation.
The formulation process is organized into 4 highly interlinked tracks. Track 1 involves an extensive public and expert consultation process. Track 2 comprises experts-driven thematic consultations to feed evidence-informed recommendations into the policy drafting process. Track 3 involves consultations with ministries and states, while Track 4 constitutes apex-level multi-stakeholder consultation. All the tracks will run simultaneously to reach out to around 15,000 stakeholders for consultation in the policy formulation.
India is known globally for its research and innovation in the field of medical science. Our scientists and researchers have taken clues from Ayurveda to genetic engineering to devise various therapeutic solutions. Recently, researchers from CSIR's Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, Jammu, have succeeded in just such an effort by identifying and developing a potent anti-cancer drug extracted from a tree in the Western Ghats. After completing all the necessary procedures, the researchers have also gotten approval for its clinical trials. Let's see the report to know more about this development.
Cancer can affect any part of the body, and considering the complexity of the disease, developing drugs for different types of cancer has always remained a challenge. Now, in an effort to overcome this challenge, researchers of CSIR Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, Jammu, have identified a new chemical compound which has shown cancer-inhibiting properties during their primary studies on pancreatic cancer. The researchers have received investigational new drug approval from the New Drugs Division of the Central Drug Standard Control Organization for the same compound. The compound derived from a plant-based source has been developed after a decade of research by the institute.
This institute has been working on drug discovery from natural sources, mostly from medicinal plants, but we include all other natural sources also. And this is the latest one, what we call it triple IM 290. In fact, this is a drug that is isolated from Indian tree, very big tree. It is that is called Diazoxylum binectariferum, and this tree is native of Western Ghats, and some of the trees are also found in North India in Dehradun area.
This compound was identified and developed under the Institute's Natural Products-Driven Drug Discovery Program. During the study, it was observed that rohitoquine, extracted from leaves of Indian white cedar, a tree from the Western Ghats, was quite effective in anti-cancer screening against NCI 60. Cancer cell lines panel, as well as against protein kinase enzymes involved in cancer. The compound was modified further to increase its efficacy against a class of cell cycle regulatory kinases which are held responsible for proliferation of cancer. The new compound has been named IIIM 290, and clinical trials will be conducted soon to assess the safety, tolerability and exposure of the compound in humans.
It was observed that particularly this natural product, rohitoquine, it stood out and it was highly efficacious against the cyclin-dependent kinase. This is one of the kinase which is very, very important for the progression of certain types of cancer. Then we started a medicinal chemistry program. We isolated in a bulk quantity that natural product. We did a lot of synthetic modifications and we synthesized close to 60 new chemical entities. And whole this exercise, exhaustive exercise, has resulted in identification of a triple IM 290, which is a highly potent inhibitor of the CDK9 with IC50 close to 1 nanomolar. and it showed excellent anti-proliferative activity in the pancreatic cancer cell line. This particular lead compound was efficacious by oral route. So once we take it by oral route, it is showing the anti-cancer activity. And this activity was demonstrated in a mice models of the cancer, which is called as a human genome models. Last week of the May 2020, we received IND approval from the DCGI for conducting this phase 1/phase 2 clinical trial in metastatic pancreatic cancer patients.
This institute has been conducting the study in this direction for almost 10 years. And during the last 3 years, the researchers completed all the preclinical safety, regulatory and other investigative new drug-enabling studies to obtain the global patents. The study was also published in the Journal of Medicinal Chemistry in 2018. Pancreatic cancer is the fourth leading cause of cancer deaths in the world, as it is usually diagnosed at a very late stage. Currently, there is also a huge scarcity of oral drugs for its treatment. Therefore, identification and approval of new drug candidate has opened potential therapeutic options for pancreatic cancer.
Quantity and quality of scientific research output of a nation is directly proportional to its scientific caliber. And fortunately, India has always been very active in this field, as every year, thousands of research papers from India find a place in the topmost science journals of the world. The recently released Nature Index 2020 rankings have proved it once again, as a total of 1,663 Indian papers were published within a year. Among the top 30 institutions in the country, 3 autonomous institutes of Department of Science and Technology have also secured a place. Let's have a look at the report to know more.
In the recently released Nature Index 2020 ratings, 3 autonomous institutes of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, have been ranked among the top 30 Indian institutions. Kolkata-based Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science is on the 7th position. Jawaharlal Nehru Centre for Advanced Scientific Research, Bangalore, has been ranked 14th, while S.N. Bose National Centre for Basic Sciences, Kolkata, holds the 30th position. The rankings are based on research outputs in top journals between 1st April 2019 and March 2020. The other positions on the list are occupied by universities, Indian Institute of Technologies, Indian Institutes of Science Education and Research, and research institutions and laboratories.
We look at our number of scientific publications in standard journals. So that has doubled. We are now number 3 in the world in terms of number of publications. Of course, now we have to start improving the relevance and quality of that research which goes into producing these publications. The R&D investment has more than doubled. The number of R&D labs and academic sector, universities, colleges, IITs, ICERs, they have doubled. The number of PhDs that we produce is nearly doubled. The new concept of postdoctorals and postdoctoral fellowship has come in a big way. We also third in the number of PhDs which are produced in the world. We also number 3 in the number of startups or technology-based startups in the world.
The Council of Scientific and Industrial Research has got the first place in the rankings, followed by Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, which is third among the Indian institutes. Nature Index is a database based on research papers published in 82 high-quality science journals. The database is compiled by Nature Research, and based on this data, an index is prepared every year in which global, regional and country rankings of various institutions are released. This year, India has ranked 12th globally in science research output, and most of its research output was made for the subject of chemistry.
It's time for a short break. Do stay with us, as we'll be back soon.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back. You are watching Science This Week. The Indian Institute of Technology Delhi will now shift its focus towards building self-reliant India in accordance with the Atmanirbhar Bharat Nirman of the Government of India. The institute has developed a variety of indigenous solutions for the current pandemic, and therefore it is confident of its knowledge base and resources to give a push to the campaign started by the Government of India. Let's see the report to know more about the institute's plans.
Indian Institute of Technology Delhi is one of the finest institutions in the country. The institute is known not only for producing scientists and technocrats of the highest caliber, but also for its high-end research and innovative startups. The researchers and startups at IIT Delhi have responded promptly to COVID-19 crisis by developing and deploying PPE kits, diagnostic kits, reusable face masks, etc., and strengthened India's efforts in combating the disease. Having played a successful role in campaigns such as Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, the institute is now preparing to contribute to the Atmanirbhar Bharat Nirman campaign.
IIT Delhi is helping Government of India's Atmanirbhar initiatives, and at IIT Delhi we are taking many steps right now to turn our students into job providers rather than remaining as job seekers. There are a lot of initiatives that we have launched in the institute towards making this a possibility. For example, IIT Delhi traditionally has the culture of entrepreneurship. At least 16 unicorns, billion-dollar companies have come out of IIT Delhi alumni alone, and we are in the last 3 years through a variety of initiatives, we are further strengthening the ecosystem for deep technology startups from IIT Delhi.
IIT Delhi is already identified as an institution spearheading self-reliance efforts, leading in the funds raised by its startups. It has invested over rupees 350 crore in the last few years to solve grand challenges by leveraging high-tech research facilities in an effort to produce more job providers rather than job seekers. The proposed Research and Innovation Park on the campus, in which around 100 startups can work at a time, is also an effort in the same direction, as it will promote research translation and joint research with industries. The institute currently files more than 150 patents in a year and aims to file over 200 patents per year from 2021.
For all of this to happen, we are putting problems first. So we are identifying the problems, then we are building faculty teams to solve these problems, and once a solution is arrived, and these solutions we are trying to take it to the society through interactions with industry or through a startup kind of a route, and that is where IIT Delhi is currently doing very well. Our target is at least 100 startups on the campus. That will become a reality 1 year from now, and we are also building a large technology park, and we are also exposing our students to real world problems so that they get excited about these problems and find solutions to them through the resources available on the campus, and eventually use those solutions to start companies and commercialize some of these technologies. So through this, India will be able to solve its own problems.
IIT Delhi is already amongst the top 10 global institutes producing the most unicorn founders. In the last 4 years, the Institute has created a better environment to support the entrepreneurship ecosystem on the campus, which is helping not only its students but also its faculty to turn into entrepreneurs by using deep tech research carried out in its laboratories. By using resources in different fields of science, technology, research, and innovation, the Institute aims to play a frontline role in realizing the goal of self-reliant India.
In the last 2 months, many areas of the country, including the National Capital Region, have experienced mild to moderate earthquake tremors. As earthquakes can neither be predicted nor prevented, so it is crucial to know the safety measures to deal with the immediate impacts of an earthquake. Here is a brief report to guide you on the do's and don'ts when you feel the tremors.
During an earthquake, we must observe certain do's and don'ts. If indoors, drop to the ground, take cover by getting under a steady table or similar furniture and hold on until the shaking stops. Stay away from glass windows, outside doors, walls, and anything that would fall. Stay inside until the shaking stops and it is safe to go outside. If outdoors, do not move from where you are. However, move away from buildings, trees, street lights, and utility wires. If you are in a moving vehicle, stop as quickly as safety permits and stay in the vehicle. If trapped under debris, do not light a match. Do not move about or kick the dust. Tap on pipes or walls so that the rescuer can locate you. By taking such preventive measures, we can minimize the risk associated with earthquakes. Remember, our awareness and preparedness are the best ways to tackle such disasters.
It is time for another short break, but don't go anywhere as we'll be back soon.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back. You are watching Science This Week. And now, it is time to have a quick look at some other developments in our segment, Science Express.
World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought was observed globally on 17th June. This year's theme was Food, Feed, Fiber, to focus on the links between consumption and land. Desertification, land degradation and drought are major threats to the world population, and developing countries lose about 8% of their GDP due to dry land. The day is observed to raise awareness around the subject and to highlight methods of preventing desertification and recovering from drought. A state-of-the-art integrated flood warning system for Mumbai was jointly launched by Maharashtra's Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray and Union Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan through a video conference. The sophisticated system called iFlows Mumbai has been developed by the Ministry of Earth Sciences using its in-house expertise in close collaboration with the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, BMC. According to the Ministry of Earth Sciences, the integrated system will make Mumbai more resilient towards flooding by providing early warning, especially during high rainfall events and cyclones. Using the system, it will be possible to have an estimate of the flood inundation 3 days in advance, along with 3 to 6 hours of forecast. The ministry highlighted that the system will be useful for people living in low-lying areas who need to be evacuated during such situations. It will also allow the ministry to forecast a particular spot of rainfall and flooding 12 hours in advance. The effectiveness of this early flood warning system developed for BMC can be tested practically during the next monsoon season. In an effort to counter the locust menace at its breeding ground, India has supplied 25 metric tons malathion, 95% ULV to Iran under government-to-government initiative for locust control program. And as per the reports of the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO), the hopper stage population of locust is building up in Sistan-Baluchistan region of Iran, which shall migrate to India in the coming months, leading to further crop devastation. Therefore, India recently approached Iran and Pakistan for coordinated response to counter desert locust menace in the region. After Iran expressed its willingness to the proposal and the Ministry of External Affairs placed an order with HIL India Limited to manufacture and supply the required insecticide.
That's all in today's edition of Science This Week. Do tell us how you like our program. You can send your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is ddScience@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write to us at Vigyan Prasar, 5th floor, Prithvi Bhavan, Lodi Road, New Delhi 110003. We will meet you again next week with new information and developments. Till then, stay safe and think scientifically.